Should be coming up here in a second, and then we can start. There we go. All right. All right. Welcome to episode 22 of the Film Planet podcast. I'm your host, Nadal.
Jamal.
And today we got just a shorter podcast, none too long. We're going to be talking about Deadpool 2, sorry. And then we're going to be talking about a couple of different trailers for movies that we're looking forward to. One of them is more of a just kind of breaking down in the sense of the word of Predator, and the other one's just kind of like a, hey, look at this trailer. So we'll go ahead and start with Deadpool 2 because that's going to be really the bulk of it, the majority of the podcast today.
Kind of.
Maybe
Predator.
But like as always, Deadpool 2, like your initial thoughts on it, not necessarily the review, just what you thought.
It's one of them odd moments where I think the first one was the better movie, even though I enjoyed this one more. I'm not really a fan of the Deadpool character. Like, to me, he's too throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. He's almost like a Tom and Jerry character with a constant mouth.
Yeah.
So, he rambles off joke after joke after joke. So maybe for everyone that it's laugh out loud funny, or every stunt he pull, which it's some I laughed out loud, it's 3 that I'm like he referenced a famous quote from a superhero movie, a classic superhero movie, and I was like, that was so generic. But the action was all right. Zazie Beats or something playing dominoes. She was real good. Josh Brolin is on a roll after Thanos. Cable, he was good.
The Brolin reconnaissance.
Yeah, he kind of embodied Cable like this and stuck in the 90s, 80s and 90s action star. So that was pretty cool. Soundtrack was pretty cool for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I mean, it's what I expected. It was more of the Deadpool 1, and I thought 1 was a better movie, but I enjoyed this one more, and I get into...
The second one was more fun.
Yeah, I get into my negatives after Nadal says his positives.
A lot of mine's the same thing. Was I really like the soundtrack. Something you pointed out while we were actually sitting in the theater. You were like, whenever they first introduced Cable, it had that like cool 80s sci-fi theme. Like anytime he was kind of on the screen just by himself, the whole theme changed of the movie. It became his movie almost. Like Deadpool wasn't there.
Yeah.
Which is cool. That's small little snippets. I don't think a lot of people will notice things like that, but that's, for us, that'll stand out for us. I can't remember the actor's name. He played, was it Fire Fist? That was the character's name.
Yeah.
Russell. That I think he did a pretty good job. For a movie where, he's, I don't want to give anything away, but you kind of figure out the plot fairly early on. Right? It's they don't try to hide it, but that's Deadpool thing. They don't really hide things. It's supposed to be in your face and obvious a lot of the times. But no, overall, I liked it. Soundtrack, acting was good. So, like you said, some of the jokes were just meh, and some of them were they were pretty funny, and kind of like that, excuse my language, but dickish attitude of Deadpool. Like he's just being an ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, overall, I'm the same way. I think I liked the first one more, but I definitely enjoyed this one way more.
You mean thought the first one was a better movie?
Better movie, sorry, my bad. I thought the first one was a better movie, but I definitely enjoyed this. It's just more fun. The movie was fun.
Now my negatives is the relationship between Deadpool and what's her name? I know the actress, and the actual actress name is Monica Baricci.
Blind Al?
No, his love interest.
His love interest, yeah.
I don't know her name in the movie,
from
but
Serenity.
I know the actress name for sure.
Yeah, she's from Serenity, right?
Yeah. So, but their romance didn't just connect to me like it did in the first movie. Like, one of the magic of the first movie, even though I'm not a big fan of it, but won a lot of people over was their kind of romantic connection.
Yeah.
The chemistry wasn't there. That was a big part of that movie. In this movie, they kind of forced it. rumor has they did reshoots to add her in. She was supposed to be gone for the whole movie, pretty much, and they added pieces in to kind of keep her as a plot device. I kind of see it. I kind of see it. Another negative of mine was like I said, this is pertaining to the character, so I completely understand. I just, that Tom and Jerry throw everything at the wall, see what stick approach. It can sometimes, when it lands, but sometimes it can draw out the movie. It's a scene in the movie where it wasn't even funny. It was aggravating. Like, okay, we get it. Come on. Like, it was literally, and that's his character. That's Deadpool's character. He's an aggravating hag. He's like a big brother who aggravates his little brothers, or a big sister who aggravates her little sister and brothers. Like, that's what he does. Like, so, but sometimes that doesn't play off when you're watching a movie.
A movie that's already kind of lengthy to begin with.
Right.
It doesn't ruin the movie. It's kind of like, it slows it down for really no reason. And I understand who the character is, but at a certain point, you're still making a movie, and you have to hit certain points. You can't just.
But that's the beauty of the character.
Yeah,
he's always in on the joke.
It's like a permanent free pass.
Yeah, it's like he's always in on the joke. Wink, wink. He's always breaking the fourth wall. So,
which is fun. I enjoy the fourth wall breaking. Sometimes it's just because you don't see it a lot in movies. Yes, I understand the character. You might get it a lot if you're a comic fan of it. You're probably used to him doing that. But in the Hollywood movie world, that's not a thing. That's something that's...
And I think that's why he's so popular now.
Because
in the Hollywood movie world, he's so different in the Hollywood movie world. But CGI was horrible in parts. Not bad. Like, I enjoyed Deadpool 2 more than the movie I was disappointed in, Wrinkle in Time, which was one of my movies I was really looking forward to. I enjoyed Deadpool 2 more than that. But if I'm going to talk about that CGI in parts, which I thought it was good, overall good, and the dog pointed, it was a scene, it was an action car chase scene.
That was horrible. I don't know, that wasn't even passable in my book. Like, that's one of the things, because it's a big action sequence in the movie, so it got mulled over. A lot of time was put into it, and it was... There's no excuse for being bad. I'm sorry. I understand that one of the jokes of the movies is the breaking of character.
And how generic it's supposed to be.
That's Deadpool's role, not the other characters. The other characters almost seem to not notice when he breaks the fourth wall. It's like he's kind of breaks, everyone else pauses around him, he talks to us, then he's back into the movie. Yeah. But that CG, I'm sorry. I can't give him a pass on that. It was noticeably bad. Let's just say it looked like the character maybe ran 4 feet and they just did everything else with the green screen. She didn't actually run anywhere. It was not good.
Not for major production.
Not for a major production that just came off quadrupling its profits on the first
highest
movie.
grossing rated R movie of all time.
Yeah, it quadrupled its profit from what they made the first movie, which means let's just say the profits they made on the first movie, they could have made 3 more Deadpool movies, which they probably are, and that CG, no. That's definitely... CG is one of the things, if you throw money at it, you can fix the problem. It is a throw money at the problem, fix it kind of situation. And they did... for real, it's really... I sit there and I go like, how did it make it out of the editing room like that?
Man.
You see what I'm saying? It's CG, for people who don't understand, like, that's the last thing that gets finalized in a movie. It's the little touch-ups, the lighting in movies, when they're editing, they do all of that at once. But they have months and months and months to do that stuff before release. Because some of these movies are done shooting 6 months before we even hear them. Yeah. I'm not trying to just destroy the movie, but that one part for me stood out a lot.
And then
and it's crazy.
But another negative, because really it's really hard to judge a movie because it was intentionally generic.
Yeah.
It was intentionally generic in parts, but I think another part that didn't sell me really well is it was a scene where it was unexpected, but it wasn't unexpected like, man, look what they did. It was unexpected like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, they introduced the X-Force, then something happens. And I don't want to spoil it, but
yeah,
I didn't know how I felt about that. Like, I don't know if it hurt the movie. I don't know if it made the movie better. It was just like,
I would say it made. Oh, you're right. No, I agree with you.
I'm just, it was kind of there. Like,
never mind. I agree. Now that I think about it,
you do the, yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Once you see it, it's pretty obvious once you see it. But we didn't even talk about that part before. I just know what he's talking about.
But I'm not gonna ramble on. You got any final thoughts?
I mean, I enjoyed the movie. Go see it. Definitely. I mean, if you're already a Deadpool fan, you probably have already.
You don't need IMAX. We always say IMAX.
We went to go saw that in IMAX. You don't need to spend the $15 on that. If I watch it standard, you're good.
Yeah, if I would have watched it standard, it got the same feel.
Yeah, that was a movie, and again, CG thing. I don't know how that happened.
he is a CG Nazi. Dude.
I'm not a CG Nazi. I'm just like, when is that was glaring? It's hard to sit there and be like, glaring, but that's a big knock for me.
Yeah, you're a big cinematography guy. You really are.
I like a cool shot, man. All right. And that shot would have been a lot better had it not been complete crap and disproportionate. But whatever, that's besides the point.
But Domino and them was cool.
Yeah, I really like
Ryan Reynolds. Character. He made to play that role. Like I said, I'm really judging the movie for what it is. Because I'm not a fan of the character, but I can still look at the appeal of him. Like, I just don't like that throw everything at the wall and stick humor. And I like more dry, sketchy. Did you see? Did you catch it? Did you not catch it? Type of humor. So
yeah, it's gonna go over your head, or you're gonna get it.
Yeah. So
but no, and getting back to Domino's character, I liked her a lot. Yeah. That was really good. She was pretty cool. But yeah, no, I mean, if I were to give it a rating, I'd probably give it a solid 7.
7. No, because I gave the last Deadpool like a 7. I would give this one like a 6.5.
6.5. Okay. And then next, let's go ahead. Let's talk about Predator, is it the Predator?
Out of 10.
Out of 10, yeah. So let's talk about the Predator. This is the new. I guess is it a reboot? Or I don't know if it's a reboot or
after Predator 1.
So I think it's technically like a sequel / reboot, kind of like
I think it's between Predator 1 and 2.
Yeah, but so this Predator is a hybrid, which you don't get that message from the movie. You have to read the synopsis for the movie, but he is a hybrid who's been supposedly going throughout the galaxy, upgrading himself with different alien species. So he might look like a predator, but he's going to have different abilities outside of the technological advances. That trailer, it was, I don't know how to explain that trailer.
It didn't sell the movie.
Yeah. I mean, outside of it just didn't, it was like, what was it really about? If you didn't know it was a Predator movie, what would it have been about? You said, like, had they never said Predator at the end of it, would you have been like, that's the Predator? That's what I'm saying. Like,
they didn't sell the movie, man. Yeah. Like, and I'm a huge Predator fan. Like, bruh, when I was a kid, like, a lot of people think like I grew up collecting comic books and stuff. So a lot of my friends think I'm just all into the comic books and stuff. But nah, as a kid, when it came to cinema, I grew up on, like, that's what I genuinely grew up on. I grew up on Alien. I grew up on Predator. I grew up on The Abyss. So, like, I grew up on that kind of sci-fi action thrillers with a dash of horror. That's what I grew up on. Mm-hmm. Event Horizon, which is full-fledged horror, but it's sci-fi. Like, that's what I grew up on. So I was really looking forward to this, and it was kind of like. Yeah. I'm still looking forward to it because it's a Predator movie. I mean, you're talking to a guy who went to the theaters to see both Alien and Predator movies.
Yeah, and then Keegan-Michael Key I think he's a co-writer on the movie. If you know, it's from the TV show Key and Peele. He's co-writing that movie. He's in the movie. Based on that trailer, he's not in the movie for very long. Just saying. But it looked like it almost looked bad. Just because that's based off the trailer. I'm not saying.
And it's Shane Black kind of has that quippy. That's why like Iron Man 3, like you get Robert Downey Jr., Shane Black. It was a Iron Man 3.
It's gonna be fire.
Robert Downey Jr. was already quippy, but you put him in Iron Man 3. Like if you could compare that to the other Iron Mans, he was really quippy.
Yeah,
he was really, and that's how Shane Black is. It's kind of very tongue in cheek, his directing style. But I just never expected that with Predator. That's all I'm.
Yeah, it's not a character that lends itself, and we understand the Predator.
I don't know if it does or not till we see the movie. Yeah. I'm just saying the trailer did nothing for me. Like, I was kind of like, okay.
There's a hint of quippiness in it whenever they're interviewing the Black Ops dude or Special Forces guy, and he's like, "Did you see aliens?" He's like, "Or did you see anything?" He's like, "What are you talking about, aliens?" And they cut back to the people on the behind, and they're like, "He saw something." That's a hint of what he's talking about. That little kind of like, if it were me and you in the background like that, we would have been like, "Oh, he saw something. He's lying."
Yeah,
stuff like that. But I'm excited for it. I'm an Olivia Munn fan. She's from Oklahoma. Nothing. But nah.
He high-fived me after I dapped him. This guy.
It's fine. But nah. I'm a fan of Olivia Munn. She's probably not the greatest actor in the world, but
she cool. She got a little swagger about her.
And she's definitely the star of this movie. I mean,
probably the kid from Iron Man 3.
Oh, that is the kid from Iron Man 3, isn't it? Huh. But no, we'll watch it. We'll see it.
Is it Iron Man 3 or Jurassic World? Is he the other kid?
No, he's not Jurassic World.
I think he is.
No, it's a different kid. That kid had like.
It was two kids.
I know, but the older brother, that's definitely not the older brother.
Oh, okay.
It's not the younger one. That I know for sure. It's not the younger one. But I'm excited for it. We'll watch it just because it's the Predator and it's combining sci-fi with it on top of that, obviously. And it looks like they're going, like, I like the fact that, I was going to ask you about it. Whenever he activated that little controller thing, was he flying that ship or is that just them editing it that way?
That was just thematic.
Like he only activated the ship.
He thought he had a toy.
Yeah.
He activated
death. He activated death. He brought hell on Earth. But well, not on Earth. In these movies, the one small town that it happened to land in. But we'll see. We'll watch it. We'll be right back here the next day reviewing it.
Yeah, that's not till September, so it's a while.
It's a ways out. The next movie is, it'll honestly, just being straightforward, it'll probably end up being a guilty pleasure for me, is a movie called Upgrade.
Blumhouse. Dude is the master at taking small budgets and turning them into hits.
Yeah, and this movie, basically, just in short, it's a guy who has, what does he have? I can't remember the disease. Where like his body is, like his joints, bones don't work. Like, I honestly don't, I can't remember the name of the disease. But a guy comes up to me and he's like, "Hey man, what would you like? You know, for somebody who likes to work with his hands, it must suck to not have any control over your body."
Yeah.
Offers him a chip. Basically, it's an AI that talks directly into his brain. Like it's a fully functioning AI. It knows his name, talks to him, conversates with him, but takes control over his body and allows him to. It doesn't even take control. It makes his body stronger, faster. Things like that, and then he can even tell the AI to take over, and the AI will do all the work. So it's kind of like it's almost like a superhero movie in the vein of Deadpool. It's a rated R superhero flick that's obviously a lot more grounded. It looks fun. It looks like a pure action flick. Turn your brain off, enjoy it.
It looked 90s action to me. I think last podcast we talked about Lupita Bay.
It was last
with John Woo. So I love just pure action. I want more pure action movies. That's why
they don't happen a lot anymore.
Looking forward to Predator. Like I'm gonna beat this in the dirt. One day I want to have a podcast where we're free to really get into details. Comic book movies, as much as I enjoy them, you call to a guy who collects comic books for a living, still does as an adult. I don't read them as much, but I do collect them. Man, they kind of killed the action genre, and I want that back because before comic book movies popped off, that and sci-fi were my two favorite genres. Like,
yeah.
and sometimes they blended together.
They came out consistently.
Yeah, they blended together like Terminator sometimes, but those were my favorite movies. True Lies and, racist as it was. But I was a kid then, so I wasn't paying attention to that. But now that I'm older. But, even Van Damme, Jackie Chan.
Okay,
Jackie Chan's my GOAT. But, I want to talk about that one day. But, yeah, to wrap it up. Oh, one more thing. Is another trailer we need to discuss real quick. Venom's first trailer, meh. Second trailer,
that's
when he turned into Venom. Yeah,
like when he said, I didn't realize this was directly from the comics. And so I started reading the YouTube comments right under it. It's common that he says "we are Venom," instead of "I am Venom." So they talk as if it's two different people talking to you at the same time.
So that Now it's lit.
So to me that was pretty cool. That it's
lit.
It's freaky. It looks cool. There's rumor that Carnage might be in it.
Now it's lit.
There's also another rumor, I hope this rumor is not true, that Spider-Man might be in it.
No, please.
I don't want them to do that. Please don't put Tom Holland in this movie. Don't do it just to do it.
Yeah.
You guys actually have something here. Recognize that and drive home with it.
But, speaking of Spider-Man, I want to see the trailer with Miles Morales. They're supposed to have a second trailer soon near Comic-Con, so that's going to be fire. But this is this week's podcast. We're going to do a better job not going over unless it's a big movie. So we probably won't go over again until Incredibles. Till Incredibles.
Yeah, it'll be a while. Or, wait, when's Incredibles?
June 15th.
Okay, I was about to say that's before Han Solo. Okay, so we're good.
Yeah, Han Solo won't even be much to go over because it's a prequel. It ain't like
that movie knows what it is. It's not it's not introducing anything new, or it
might have tidbits for diehard Star Wars fans, but it's not going to affect anything going forward
in the future. Yeah, this is purely like you might find out something new you didn't know before, but that has no impact on what happens in the future.
Episode 9, so
we'll see. But anyways, that was this week's episode. Peace.